What are you doing here? Poor people are out of place here.
Ronald, the sales director from Sunrise Systems, mocks us. Is the president of Henderson Industries out of place at a networking event for a system development company? Mike, the programmer next to me, is visibly annoyed. The company president's daughter Emily came close to Ronald and sneered at Mike, snorting disdainfully.
Subcontractors should head home.
Understood. I grabbed Mike's arm, who looked ready to retort, and forcefully led him away from the scene. This networking encounter is proving fruitful, as I'm now about to finalize a significant consultation.
So, you, Redwood Software, agree on an exclusive contract with our company.
Looking forward to working with you. To make this deal happen, I decided to terminate a $200 million contract with Sunrise Systems. We proceeded solemnly, and all signed a contract together. My name is Thomas Henderson. I'm 42 and the president of Henderson Industries, a system development company. When talking about my background, my father's influence is indispensable. Henderson Industries, founded by my father, initially focused on developing computer software. At that time, with the release of Windows 95, personal computers rapidly spread throughout the U.S. Even before constant internet connectivity was established, my father was fervently using computers both at home and at work. He was incredibly tech-savvy, a man who could fix any machine around the house, a Superman to me as a child. Naturally, I wanted to work in the computer field. Influenced by my father when choosing schools for college, after graduating from college, I gained experience at another IT company. In this industry, even younger people can lead projects. It's a world where you can fully express your youthful, flexible creativity. During this training period, I managed several projects and built confidence. At 35, when my father fell ill and entered a prolonged illness, I left the company I owed much to and took over as president of Henderson Industries. Although I was still an inexperienced president, I was supported by senior employees who had backed my father, and I am still doing my best. At home, I have a wife and a fifth-grade son, and I think our family relations are pretty good. My son is starting to show signs of adolescence, but both my wife and I are handling it well. My wife, a homemaker, manages our home so I can focus on work. Currently, our company mainly handles programming tasks ordered by Sunrise Systems. Essentially, Sunrise Systems is the main contractor, and Henderson Industries is the subcontractor. The relationship with Sunrise Systems dates back to my father's time, and I had great trust in them as the main contractor. The sales director was very affable and gentle, making it easy to work together. Not all main contractors respect their subcontractors. However, the sales director at Sunrise Systems was humble and respected our work as subcontractors. We both love watching and playing soccer, and we occasionally went to games together.
Let's gather the team and form our own soccer team. Thomas, sweating it out on your days off really clears your head.
That sounds great. Let's make it happen. Unfortunately, this plan never came to fruition. In the next personnel change, the longtime sales director at Sunrise Systems was replaced. The new sales director is Ronald Irvin. He's also 42 and graduated from a renowned university in New York. However, I rarely hear that he's competent. Actually, since Ronald became the sales director, work has not been going smoothly. First off, it's hard to get in touch with him, whether calling the office or his cell phone. It's rare that he answers himself. The sales department also doesn't keep track of where Ronald is, which is really problematic when there's urgent business. I have a long-standing relationship with Sunrise Systems and want to keep it cordial in the future, so I try inviting him to drinks, but I don't get a favorable response.
I'd rather not spend time with a subcontractor outside of work. I prefer to keep work and personal life separate.
As his words imply, Ronald sees us subcontractors as beneath them. disregarding our work and time, preferring to advance discussions only on his terms. It's always us who have to struggle to make time.
I want to meet early in the morning.
When Ronald says this, I wake up early and head to the specified location. There have been times when I've been called in the middle of the night. Somehow, I manage to adjust my schedule, but the projects he orders are fraught with issues. As a president, I am confident in the programs our company develops. Our employees are capable and have developed wonderful programs and systems. However, high-quality items inevitably take time to produce. Ronald does not understand this. It's impossible to deliver in such a short amount of time. Could we have a bit more flexibility with the deadlines?
You can even make this. Honestly, how long must I deal with such a useless subcontractor?
I'm not saying we can't make it. I'm saying we need more time. With the desire not to overburden my staff, I have repeatedly negotiated with Ronald, only to be looked down upon each time. Ever since I started dealing with Ronald, the days have been exhausting. My wife has noticed the change in me and has been very considerate, but it has seldom lifted my spirits. At Sunrise Systems, besides Ronald, there is another problematic person. It's Emily, the president's daughter. After graduating from a prestigious women's college in the city, Emily just hangs around without much direction. Perhaps because she is the only child, her father dotes on her, giving her a large allowance and letting her do as she pleases. If it doesn't affect our company, then there's no problem. I wouldn't mind her doing whatever she wants. However, Emily tends to meddle in our company's affairs. A significant reason for this is the presence of Mike Tyson, a 24-year-old genius programmer at our company. Since his student days, Mike has been a standout, winning IT contests. What path he would choose after graduation was of keen interest to the higher echelons of IT companies like ours. There were apparently offers from various companies. It included Sunrise Systems, but Mike declined them and joined our company instead. With such a talented person on board, our company's performance has significantly improved. Emily seems to have complicated feelings towards Mike. Since elementary school, Mike, who was called a prodigy in our area, was Emily's classmate through middle school. Mike, exceptionally bright and with a cosmopolitan allure, was popular among the girls. Emily was one of them and made several confessions to Mike. However, Mike showed no interest. It would have been better if Mike had shown no interest in any girl, but he went on to date a girl from another class. At that point, Emily's attitude changed. Being influential among the schoolgirls, Emily started harassing the girl Mike was dating. Mike was distressed, but still being a child, didn't know how to protect the girl. Ultimately, they broke up, which ended the harassment. Because of this history, Mike still harbors resentment towards Emily. There was an offer from Sunrise Systems before she graduated college, but he refused because it was run by Emily's parents. 9 years after graduating middle school, Mike and Emily still seem to carry the weight of their painful past. Sunrise Systems started taking a tough stance against our company after Mike joined. It required strict management and was quite exhausting. At that time, a networking event for system development companies, both large and small, within the state was organized. Feeling the limits of continuing to work as a subcontractor for Sunrise Systems, I decided to attend with our company's ace, Mike. The venue was a room at the hotel right next to our company. Mike uncomfortably tugged at a suit sleeve. Normally only wearing a t-shirt under a jacket, he didn't even know how to tie a tie. I tied it for him, and as we entered the venue, we were handed champagne glasses at the door. The buffet-style venue was bustling with excitement, and I got caught up in it too. Mike quickly grabbed a plate and started loading it with food. "Hey, don't take so much all at once. You won't be able to eat all that."
Of course, I'll eat it all. Everything looks so tasty.
Mike is well known, so people from various companies' sales departments approached him, all wanting to tap into his expertise.
Excuse me, I'm eating.
Mike waded through the crowd back to me. Then we caught the eye of the last person we wanted to see, Emily.
Oh look, poor people really do load up their plates at a buffet. You guys are just so typical.
Shut up, get lost.
Such cheek from a subcontractor. You couldn't eat without the work my dad gives you.
We knew Emily's character well from our long association with Sunrise Systems. Find one mistake, and she'd make a huge fuss like she's caught a demon. Then Ronald, looking for Emily, came over.
Ronald, look at this, the poor filling their plates like that. It's disgraceful.
What are you doing here? Poor people really don't belong.
Ronald immediately started mocking us. So, the president of Henderson Industries is out of place at the networking event. Mike by my side frowned. Emily came close to Ronald and sneered at Mike, snorting disdainfully.
Subcontractors should head home.
Understood. I grabbed Mike's arm, which seemed ready to retort, and forcefully pulled him away from there. As I dragged Mike toward the exit, he protested.
Why back down silently? Aren't you angry being spoken to like that?
Just ignore such low-level people.
So, we don't have to deal with them anymore?
Not dealing meant not working together. But given our company's nature, we need to act as a subcontractor to some company. We have different roles, after all. Yet, I feel the same. I don't want to work with a main contractor who looks down on us just because we're subcontractors. At that moment, I felt a light tap on my shoulder and turned around. It was Kevin Redwood, the president of Redwood Software. A bit overweight due to a lack of exercise and with thinning hair, he had a presence of someone dignified, though he wasn't much older than me. His company, a rival to Sunrise Systems, has been rapidly growing and is the talk of the town lately. Kevin, like me, had taken over his company at a young age. We hadn't worked together much, but we shared a kindred spirit. He has a warm and approachable demeanor that makes people smile instantly upon greeting him, and I've never heard of him causing any trouble with his peers in the industry. I've always been interested in Redwood Software, but due to our relationship with Sunrise Systems, I hadn't been able to delve too deeply into discussions with him. I gave him a polite smile. Mike was zoning out, so I placed my hand on his head and pushed it down to make him smile as well. Thank you for your continued support. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Oh no, the pleasure is mine. But Thomas, are you leaving already?
No, that's not the case, I stammered. Kevin then spoke up again.
I heard about your talk with the director from Sunrise Systems. That means there might be a chance for us too. Could I possibly interest you in hearing about our proposal?
Let's go to the back. There are some chairs there where we can sit.
That sounds good.
And so, we moved 3 chairs close together in a corner of the venue and sat down.
Would you consider signing a contract with us? Your company is well known for the quality of its systems. We are planning a major new product and would really like you to be part of it.
I appreciate that. Depending on the details of the project, I would certainly like to consider it if we can be of help.
If we could team up with Henderson Industries, renowned for having the golden egg mic, the success of this major project would be nearly assured. We would very much like to contract with your company.
Mike seemed even more interested than I was. According to Kevin, if this project materialized, Mike's role would be significant. Truly, it would be a fulfilling job.
This project will also involve companies from India and South Korea. It will be a collaboration among 3 countries. We need to compete on a global scale to survive.
India and South Korea are advanced in IT, so interacting with people from these countries could open new worlds for our young employees. I'm already very interested. However, participating would mean we'd have to terminate the contract with Sunrise Systems, which would be our competitor. I was torn. We've been working with Sunrise Systems since my father's time. It's not easy to just cut them off, because we don't get along with the current sales director. If we continued the contract, it would be worth about $200 million. But this was a moment for a decision. What decided it was Mike's words.
I don't want to work for such people. Let's cut ties with Sunrise Systems.
You're right, Mike. Let's end it with Sunrise Systems, and please contract with our company.
Thank you very much. I expressed my appreciation again. Thanks to attending this networking event, a new world has opened up before us. Facing a large project spanning 3 countries, naturally, I feel more committed. Mike is all geared up and even urging me to sign a contract soon. Before signing a contract with Redwood Software, I had to terminate our contract with Sunrise Systems. Admittedly, my feelings were complex. I was about to sever a contractual relationship my father had worked hard to establish. Yet, I knew it was necessary to move forward. Sunrise Systems would face a total loss of $200 million if they terminated our contract. It would be impossible for any other company to deliver programs of the same quality as ours as a subcontractor. But that was not my concern. A week later, everything was prepared, and we were about to finalize a major business deal. That morning, I called Sunrise Systems to cancel all our contracts. The employee who answered the phone panicked and said they would transfer me to a manager and asked me to wait. Not again. Waiting for a call back that never comes. I thought to myself, enough is enough. So, you ignore us all this time. And now when I want to cancel the contract, you ask me to wait. My decision won't change. Please inform your sales director. Goodbye. Without allowing for any response, I hung up the phone. Meanwhile, Kevin, along with 2 of his employees including his secretary, visited our company. We politely greeted them and led them to the reception room. At Mike's insistence, he joined a contract meeting. Kevin's secretary quickly spread out the files, which included documents in Hindi and Korean in addition to English. Given that the project involved companies from India and South Korea, it was not surprisingly with Hindi or Korean script.
In spite of the different languages spoken in our respective countries, it's important for us to try learning each other's languages. Maybe I should study a language myself, but having interpreters would ensure more accurate communication, right?
I think we'll have more opportunities to use other languages than English in future communications. It might be good to hire some staff who are proficient in these relations. We still have plenty of time to prepare. Let's get ready gradually.
Indeed, in today's world, you can text pen globally without knowing at least some other languages. I'll start looking for good talent right away. The role our company would play in this project was significant. I had to ensure its success.
So, are you agreed on an exclusive contract with us, Redwood Software?
Please, let's look forward to working together. We proceeded solemnly, and all of us signed a contract. Mike, eager to capture the moment, raised his smartphone. He took several photos of Kevin and me shaking hands, nodding in satisfaction.
This looks like it's going to be great work. Thank you.
Involvement in this project would undoubtedly transform Mike. I was becoming increasingly excited about the future. At that moment, my smartphone in my breast pocket rang. It was Ronald calling.
I heard you want to cancel the contract. Are you sure you'll be okay without us? Without our programming contracts, your company might struggle, you know.
Thank you for your concern, but we're fine. We've just signed a contract with Redwood Software. I would have preferred to hear your response first, but as usual, you seem too busy. Ronald suddenly sounded panicked.
A contract with Redwood Software? Why would you do something like that so suddenly?
I can't work being demeaned as poor anymore. It's a matter of my pride.
Oh.
Ronald choked on his words. Everything changed after that networking event. We had connections with your company since my father's time, but I won't continue to work with someone who treats us like poor people. Don't say it's convenient for you after all the insults.
It was just a little joke.
If that was a joke, it's an extremely poor taste. Goodbye then. Ronald was shouting something, but I hung up without caring. Kevin, looking anxious, asked me.
It seems they haven't accepted it yet. They might come here, you know.
They were quite upset, so they might indeed come. But don't worry. We have a contract with Redwood Software now. Whatever Sunrise Systems says, we won't accept it.
Are you sure we're okay?
I nodded emphatically, finally convinced. Kevin and his team left. Just as they did, Ronald showed up, seeing me near the company's reception. He immediately said he was sorry.
Please, this is how it is. I apologize for any past rudeness. So please, cancel the contract with Redwood Software.
No matter what you say, it's too late now. Do you understand how much humiliation we've endured? We can't work with a prime contractor who looks down on us just because we're subcontractors. Ronald tried to approach me, but Mike violently brushed off his hand.
We'll get by fine on our own, even if we are poor. Goodbye.
Ronald opened his mouth in shock, dumbfounded. He may not have meant much by his earlier words, but this isn't something a mere sorry can fix. Not when we're not children. Seeing our resolute stance, he must have realized that nothing he could say would matter anymore. Ronald left, shoulders slumped. If only it had ended there. But there was more turmoil to come. There is another problematic figure from Sunrise Systems. It's Emily, the president's daughter. She showed up about an hour after Ronald left. The receptionist, clearly troubled by an unwelcome visitor, didn't know how to handle her.
My father is furious because of me. Please sign the contract again.
I told the troubled receptionist to step back and approached Emily. Mike said he doesn't want to work because of you. Isn't it true that you harassed him back when you were classmates?
But he never understood my feelings.
Such a childish retort. I shook my head in exasperation. Ronald and Emily, when will they outgrow their student mentality? As professionals, it's basic to respect time and not act selfishly or look down on others. Certainly, the incident at the networking event was a catalyst, but it was really a culmination of many small issues that led to this situation. Then, unbelievably, Emily also offered a sincere apology.
Please re-sign the contract. If not, I won't be allowed back home.
That sounds like a chance to live on your own, I thought. Born into a wealthy family and doted on as an only daughter, it's no wonder she might think too highly of herself. I bent down to Emily's eye level and spoke quietly. You're still young. Use this as an opportunity to change. Right now, no one will genuinely help you.
Can I really change?
Of course, you can. Once you do, you'll be able to mend your relationship with Mike honestly. Somehow, Emily was persuaded and left. If Emily's father truly wouldn't let her back into the house, that in itself could be an opportunity. It's his prerogative to spoil her, but every time he did, he might have been stealing from her the chance to grow. If Emily changes, those around her will surely change too. This is a crossroads in Emily's life. In my heart, I silently cheered her on. Due to our stepping away, Sunrise Systems, having lost a subcontractor like Henderson Industries, was in quite a bind. One of the factors that led us to withdraw was the poor attitude of Sunrise Systems towards subcontractors that became widely known in the industry, and there aren't many companies willing to accept them. This led to Ronald being fired, held responsible for the predicament. He seemed relieved to have escaped from the sinking ship. However, he found no new employment. As Sunrise Systems' situation worsened, so did Ronald's reputation, which spread far and wide. Eventually, Sunrise Systems defaulted and went bankrupt. Ronald, blamed as the primary culprit, was completely shunned by other companies and even ostracized by his family. His wife and child left him, and all he received was the divorce papers. Left alone, Ronald spent his days and nights at the casino, descending into a life of debauchery while accumulating debt. Now, the lively atmosphere he had when he was the sales director has completely disappeared from him. Ronald's future looked bleak. With the company's collapse, Emily's circumstances drastically changed. Her father, needing to pay off debts, sold their mansion, leaving them without a home. With no more leeway to pamper Emily, he told her to get a job and kicked her out. Now, Emily is living alone in a small apartment, working part-time at a corner store. Gone is the well-dressed, confidently striding Emily, replaced by a girl who doesn't bother with makeup and ties her hair back while working the cash register. Though she feels at rock bottom, this could be a good chance for her to change her life. 3 years have passed since then. Thanks to our contract with Redwood Software, our company has grown rapidly, and we are set to open branches in India and South Korea. Our projects are progressing well, with Mike being the main contributor. Previously solitary in his work, he's now looking out for his juniors. There was talk of him heading the India branch, but managerial duties aren't his strength. I hope he continues to excel in his areas of expertise. Recently, Mike has been going out of his way to buy his lunch at a distant corner store, which happens to be where Emily works.
I feel somewhat responsible for Emily's situation. Buying my lunch there is the least I can do.
Emily seems pleased by his visits. Perhaps she has finally let go of clinging to her past status. I decided to quietly observe how Emily and Mike, who are now on equal footing, will progress in the future. Amidst my busy days, I am content. While gazing at the slightly grown-up Mike with satisfaction, I envision the bright future of the company.